Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of the ages, welcome back to another reaction. Thank you for being here. Joining us in this fun festivity of finding things new. Today we have Marvel Studios is not allowed to use Spider-Man villains. This is really weird because I don't know anything about this, and I'm pretty sure you don't either. So let's get into this together. Enough said. Let's see what they can do.
A brand new report has hit the net claiming that Sony is limiting the amount of characters and specifically what characters Marvel Studios and Disney can use in Spider Man films, and that this all revolves around their own standalone projects that they've been putting out and are currently working on. So, this report just recently hit from Daniel RPK, but I don't think this is anything new or anything that we didn't really know unless there's something else here I'm not picking up on.
Okay, first of all, I want to say why would they not let them use villains? Because wouldn't that bring more revenue for them? I mean, what is this the fight? What is the fight for? I don't know. I don't know. It's not my company. I don't know, but it doesn't sound logical to me to do that.
But here's what was stated through and through, and I quote. So Daniel said, and I quote, Craven has Rhino, Calypso, and Chameleon. Whenever Sony uses a villain, they block Marvel Studios from using them, which means that there aren't many left for the MCU Spider-Man to face off against. End quote. Now, we've known elements of this for a while because
Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense now. See, the Sony Studios is doing their own thing, and then the Marvel's doing their own thing, and it was not a good look if they use the villains in both and then they didn't they don't go together. They don't go together. They don't go together. I mean, from what I understand.
just think about what we've known. Sony owns everything Spider Man. They are leasing out slash in a partnership with Marvel Studios and Disney to use Spider Man in the MCU. And every film he appears in, they get a portion of the money and the profits, and obviously there's other stuff involved. Now, of course, Sony needs to continue to make films of their own. Hence why you got the Venom stuff, right? Hence why you got Craven coming out. Hence why they're working on El Muerto and Dark Watch, I think that's the character's name, and other characters. Hence why we had Morbius and Madam Web. And we know for a fact that if Sony uses those characters, they are in fact embargoed from use from Marvel Studios and Disney, because this is what they talked about back, if you guys remember, the rounds of interviews that were done right after Spider
Yeah, I think I just spoke too soon on that. Should have just let him talk.
Man Homecoming came out, where Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal were talking about the characters that they want to use, and Feige said that they're only going to be focusing on characters that we've never seen before. Now, of course, this all changed after the fallout that the two had after Far From Home, and when it came to No Way Home, we then had the returning characters, the legacy characters from the Raimi franchise and the TASM franchise, and they didn't introduce anybody new. Now, going into the next set of films, there's obviously characters that Marvel can still use that are Spider Man villains, which makes me confused at Daniel's statement here because they still got Scorpion, for example. They can obviously continue to use Kingpin. They used Vulture. They can use Mr. Negative. They got the Hobgoblin, Tombstone.
Mr. Negative? I don't know who Mr. Negative is. I don't remember Mr. Negative.
Hammerhead, Alistair Smythe. They can do Prowler. Because again, he's only in the animated side. They already had Donald Glover appear as Aaron Davis. Like, they got plenty of characters
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
that they can legitimately use in this. They got Black Cat that nothing has been done with. There's Jackal, Black Tarantula, I mean, who am I forgetting here? Chameleon. He was literally in Spider-Man Far From Home. They could also do something like, I don't know, Demi-Goblin, Doppelganger, Silver Sable. I mean,
There's so many that they could do. I don't see why it's their world. It's their world, and we just enjoy watching the movies. Let's continue watching.
So many villains. They could bring back the Tinker, right? There's White Rabbit. I mean, I could just sit here for another 5 minutes listing off Spider-Man villains off the top of my head. And let's just be clear about this one. If Sony tried to use the character on their own and they flopped, Marvel Studios will not use them. They're not going to do Morbius because he just suffered a horrific death at the box office. So I guess I can see what the report here is, but it's just something we've always known. That's how it's been handled ever since the partnership was made. Just how Sony tried to adjacent themselves into the MCU, and look at what happened with Vulture and Morbius. It didn't work out for them.
So, that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. So, it's a constant tussle. So Marvel has to get the approval if they want to use any of the Sony characters, and they won't use them. And I didn't know that Morbius was Sony thingy. I didn't see that one either. I didn't see the Venom movie. I know the Wolverine and Deadpool movie just come out, and there was so many different cameos from the people, and I know that's a Sony project. And there were talks of having Spider-Man in there, but that would have just did maybe added on to. I don't know. But anyway, the Deadpool is a successful series in Sony. I don't know what other successful series they have as far as movies, because I just don't. There's only certain movies I'll watch. After Iron Man, it was just like, what is the point of watching some of these? But some of them are interested, and I have seen the Rings, Eternals, I think it was. Yeah, Eternals. Seen that in the theaters. I wasn't too. It was like, I could have went without it, but it wasn't too bad. It was okay. It was passable. We're gonna say it was passable, okay? But they need to figure it out, because they're just ruining both sides. Both sides are becoming to the point where it's like we don't know what's going to come, and it's like everything's, to me, I feel like it's going downhill. Some of it's going downhill, because they keep trying to do these soft reboots, and then they do this, and it's like, is this connected to the MCU, or is this not connected? Or you don't know, because they are still fighting over simple pieces of pie. Okay, but no need to fight, because there is enough pie to go around for everyone. There's enough pie to go around for everyone, because there's tons of characters. Just collect the comics and go through there, get an idea, put it down, run with it. I'm pretty sure, there's a lot of characters that people haven't seen before that you'd be like, well, what is this? And then some people will go back and read the comic. I mean, just to see what happens. But anyway, I'm just ranting on about something I don't know anything about. So, thanks for being here. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of thy ages. Ciao.